And welcome back, everybody. Welcome to another TeamLiquid StarLeague number 9 qualifier. I'm, of course, your host, Light VIP, and with me is the one, the only, the casting jersey herself. Welcome. Good up.
Hi.
Hello, Kuro. Welcome to a very special qualifier, because for those wondering, over the past 2 weeks, we have been covering the qualifiers, and they've all been regional qualifiers. Every single one. Korean, North American, Latin American, Taiwan, Hong Kong, etc. But today, we have now finished all the regional qualifiers. We are starting the server qualifiers.
But we are indeed, and we are already jumping into our first series, where we have 2 Korean players. First of them, in the bottom left corner of Tropical Sacrifice, it is representing Team NV, the Red Protoss, NightMare.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Tropical Sacrifice ESL, we have the South Korean Terran player himself representing Team NV. It is QuanTa.
Light. Since we are here, can you tell the viewers what we saw of NightMare yesterday?
Well, it wasn't much of a nightmare. It was a very pleasant, beautiful, wonderful dream. As for those who were not here last night, NightMare played in our tournaments. Sparkling Tuna Cup number 17 was 24 hours ago, and he had the run of his life, and he went up against another player who had the run of his life, Demi, in the grand finals, and we had an insane back and forth best of 5 series. It went all the way to the ace match. I don't want to spoil it too much, but again, it was an insane night of StarCraft, and I highly recommend everyone to tune into the VODs. The VODs are already up on YouTube, on Twitch, they will eventually be up on YouTube, but again, it's not something that you want to miss. It was an amazing display of StarCraft. And let's hope that, maybe winning last night's tournament can keep him going, and maybe that's like an inkling of what he could do here.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, we also, something we saw yesterday from NightMare was also some tricky things, which is also interesting. The famous pylon that's been shared around now.
Yeah, I did post the clip of something that happened in the semifinals onto Reddit, so that's also there if you've seen that. But just to clarify, we are here in the Asia server qualifiers. Again, this means that this is open to anyone to participate, but all matches are played on the Asian server specifically, so it does give the advantage to the South Korean players. But it also means that other players can participate as well. The biggest one, exclamation mark B in the chat, is Scarlet. Scarlet is there in the bracket, and I guess we can get more into that later on. For the time being, I don't know if you noticed, but I think we've casted QuanTa every single Korean qualifier.
It's very possible, yeah. I mean, not me specifically, but yeah, it looks like he appears on our stream a lot recently.
Very recently, and yo, this is why, oh my god, I don't know if you noticed something, but QuanTa does not have a base, he does not have a CC, he's going for a 1 base all-in.
Oh my. That's something I wanted to point out, that like I was talking about how NightMare has been a little bit more cheeky yesterday, and today he's facing QuanTa of all people.
Okay, so a couple of things just happened. If we look at the vision of NightMare, and I ask you to do the same, Kuro, NightMare scouted a CC. He scouted a CC on the low ground, and QuanTa canceled it. He canceled it and threw down 2 more Raxes. He threw down a Rax and then, of course, went into his starport. On top of this, QuanTa did force the unnatural natural because of the NG base, which means this base is much more open. It's much more awkward to defend.
Yeah, indeed. And as we said, with that one base, like QuanTa is gonna be very aggressive, so this may turn out very tricky for NightMare.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if QuanTa pulls the boys, honestly. We'll see. As QuanTa right now, he went for a Cyclone first. He's going to be scouting around the southern side of the map. NightMare is going for a standard opener, going for a Twilight Council into... Dark Shrine!
Yep. I mean, that's definitely something that can bring you back in a game. As I want to say, are we going back to the chart that Yaku was supposed to make with do you pull the boys? And the answer is always yes.
It was the chart that Asher said that Yaku should make. I don't even know if Yaku's heard that, by the way. But I'm a little bit concerned here because, oh, never mind. I was going to say, with only one orbital, as the Cyclone is going to be focused down, the CC has been revealed to not even exist. NightMare, alarm bells are flaring right now. I'm sure he's going to be throwing down a little bit more stack defense. But what I was going to say is that because we only have one orbital, we have very limited scans. So DTs could just end the game. But QuanTa did go for a Raven.
Yeah, indeed, the Raven definitely will be very helpful in that situation. There is no NG bay either, so no turrets in sight. But yeah, so the Raven will be like the most important defense.
Exactly, he needs to keep alive. He needs to be so careful with his micro right now. And already we do see NightMare just shaving off a couple of Marines here and there. Oh, he has to be careful not to lose too much. Loses one Stalker.
Yeah, and a lot of them are very damaged as well. So even though they will regenerate the shields, like there will be quite an easy target during the attack.
Exactly. Behind this, QuanTa, is he actually going to expand? I'm really curious. He's going for a drop across the map. The main Stalker force is still here waiting to intercept any kind of big move out. But QuanTa is long distance mining, or it looked like he was for a moment there. Oh my god. Oh no. Yeah.
No. Those are just SCVs for the repairs that were... Oh, and NightMare just misses it. Does the Observer see it? No, the Observer is in the main.
Yeah, which means that NightMare is in the main, which means that there isn't much here to defend. So, my god,
yeah.
NightMare is going to dive into the starport. He may even be able to snipe the Banshee as it comes out. But QuanTa doesn't care. Again, he is completely all in. He's pushing out across the map. What is there to face him? We have a sentry to wall off here at the ramp. QuanTa, hopefully he doesn't push up here, but it looks like he will.
Uh-oh. He notices the Stalkers, so maybe he knows. Oh, he's completely blocked, so I guess there's that.
Right now he's a little bit preoccupied back at home. He pulls the boys to try and get a full surround on that starport. Meanwhile, the drop is going to rock up on the left-hand side of the map. Medevac almost gets sniped.
Yeah, but that distracts the army, so now QuanTa can move in on that third base.
Oh, exactly. It looks like he is barely within range of the Nexus, and I wonder if this is the win condition here. I wonder if all he cares about is killing the Nexus itself, but, oh, he's exposed from the backside.
Yeah, he's trying to put a bunker, but one tank already goes down. Oh, actually disables the Immortal. Nicely done.
Oh my god, that was such a sick move. He disables the Immortal because of that. Both tanks survive. We have a bunker behind this as well to, again, help make sure there's no surface area here. A couple of chargers try to get in as well. We do see that NightMare is actually going to try and go from behind again, but we have a third tank.
Yeah, the third tank joins the reinforcement. The bunker is already done as well. The Nexus goes down.
And NightMare, he knows that he can't break that. He's just going to counterattack across the map instead. QuanTa recognizes this, so he pulls back with his tank. He will not lose it for free. QuanTa, he just knocked NightMare down to one base, but he does take this third. What's important, though, there are 0 shield batteries here at his new natural base.
Yeah, there are only 2 Stalkers to defend that, so I guess we're in a bit of a base trade situation.
I mean, we have a tank here to defend. We have 2 tanks to defend, so QuanTa's perfectly fine at home. He needs to speed up, though. Again, he's taking a long time to push up this ramp, and he's giving NightMare a long time to throw down shield batteries. Shield batteries that he doesn't have right now, and QuanTa doesn't know. He's turning around.
I think he wants to catch that army.
Yeah, we'll see if he can. Like, with Blink, this is a very mobile army.
Yeah, but at the same time, this is the only army that NightMare has at the moment.
No, it is.
Like, if he defeats that...
Oh, meanwhile, you have to be careful here. Oh my god, the medevac is targeted down, and it will go down with a handful of Marines within it. Meanwhile, here comes the Raven once again, disabling the tank. Sorry, disabling the Immortal, but the tanks are unsieged.
Yeah, the whole army gets sandwiched, and suddenly QuanTa is out of forces.
Yeah, exactly. NightMare cleans everything up. Again, the army of QuanTa is powerful when sieged up, right? When it is set up for a big attack, and he honestly was not. He was kind of caught out of position. He was swallowed up here by the Protoss army, and he still has a couple of forces left, but oh no, not like this!
Oh, he moves out, and this is it. GG's called.
GG, well played. NightMare will take the first game, but that was a really interesting game, to say the least.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we kind of expect QuanTa to play a little bit aggressive. Like, that's kind of his thing, that he doesn't play exactly standard, you know?
Mm-hmm. He doesn't. And to be fair, NightMare also mixed in a little bit of cheddar as well, going for the Dark Shrine. He never actually made use of the Dark Shrine, actually. I would have to double check to see if he actually canceled it in the end, to maybe make use of something else. But yeah, that was really interesting from QuanTa. We don't see a lot of one base play too often, to be honest.
Yeah, like for Terran, we see a lot of like 2-base like builds, but 1-base is generally fairly rare.
Mhm.
And I was gonna say that he didn't make any DTs, NightMare didn't, but he had no reason to really.
Yeah, I mean,
And for a long time he was also supply blocked because of that third base going down, so I guess that complicated things.
Yeah, I guess they did. And again, it's not like he needed the DTs in the end anyway because
Yeah.
of that Raven specifically. But here we go. We are now diving into game number 2 of this best of 3 series. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the Sparkling Tuna Cup champion himself representing Team Envy. It is NightMare.
And in the top right corner of Inside Out, we have the green Terran, representing also Team Envy. It is QuanTa.
QuanTa immediately sending his SCV across the map, and we now see why.
Yep. As we said, like QuanTa doesn't play standard. What is standard? Like every game, it has to be something else, you know?
Yeah, it's gonna be something different, something crazy, something wild. We do see this isn't the most craziest build here. He does have 1 Rax at home, 1 across the map. This is gonna be again just a proxy single Rax here. You can transition from here, you can macro from here.
Yeah, like this is not a very committed proxy, but it can still catch NightMare off guard if it's not scouted.
Yeah, the goal here, of course, is to pump out a couple of Reapers, is to dish out some damage, maybe get a couple of probe kills, maintain that map control, and of course, get some scouting information as well. Hopefully delay the natural base, but yeah, we'll see how this goes. Oh my god, he doubles down and he goes for a tech lab.
Marauders, right? This is Marauders.
Yeah, should be.
And this can work. I find it a little funny that NightMare like walled off the Reaper ramp, but there may not be Reapers this game at all.
Yeah, this is just really quirky here from QuanTa. I kind of love it. We'll see if he even researches Concussive Shell as well. So obviously the power of the Marauder, especially with Concussive Shell, is that you can kite the hell out of gateway units to your heart's content. There we go, as it is on the way. On top of that, Marauders do a really good job at powering down buildings, you know, pylons, shield batteries, just anything like that.
And NightMare is going in for a Stargate as a follow-up, so I wonder if that will help him out. I don't think the Stargate will be finished in time to like set up a defense, but maybe it will just let him survive.
Yeah, I mean, this unit coming out from the Stargate is pretty important. If NightMare is able to figure out that something is wrong, then he will immediately throw down a Void Ray or go for a Void Ray. Meanwhile, the probe quickly checking the vision. The probe got sniped, and he did scout up the ramp. He saw the bunker, which again is pretty sus.
It's pretty sus, but like it still doesn't tell you what exactly is coming. There is a shield battery on the front now, or it's being made, so that will be nice. But there's only 1.5 Stargate, I guess.
Okay, the Marauders reveal themselves. The shield battery goes out immediately, so will the pylon, and I imagine so will the Nexus. There we go, the Void Ray is on the way. Specifically, NightMare was waiting for the first units to reveal themselves before picking anything, and I love this. He actually avoids the natural.
Yeah, QuanTa is just going for it. I mean, as I said, there are only 2 Stalkers now, and the Void Ray is only halfway done, so at least he can get some damage done.
Can he get the pylon before the Void Ray comes out? That's kind of the big question, but no, he doesn't go for it. He's throwing down the bunker behind this instead. He wants probe damage. He's trying to focus down the Stalkers with his Marauders. Instead, he backs them up, again, focusing on just probe damage for the time being, and just like that, he's going to take a worker lead.
Yeah, taking 10 probes already, and there's more to come probably.
Oh god, exactly. Meanwhile, the bunker is not gonna finish with nice target fire there on the building SCV, and nothing here shoots up, so these Marauders will eventually be cleaned up, but not before focusing down even more probes.
Yeah, but NightMare has only 4 probes left. That's all he has.
But he's got a Void Ray.
I mean, sure, he's got a Void Ray, but he's got no economy.
Exactly. He is down to only 6 workers right now. His economy is in shambles. He is 100% all in. He has to go across the map with what he has and try to end the game. But back at home, we have a 1-basing Terran. We have +1 on the way. We don't have a lot of units, and half of the production is across the map. We only have 1 Rax building units right now.
I mean, we do have a bunker, which definitely will be helpful, and I think we have enough marines to fill the bunker, but it's not very mobile, so this bunker may be a bit delayed.
Oh my god, the move command! No, not like this, NightMare! Just like that, already he's taking so much damage on this Void Ray. Now this Void Ray can't really do anything. Again, if it did have shields, he could maybe dance with the army. He's gonna try and dive on top of it, but it goes down!
Yeah, focus, and this Oracle will not do any damage either, just get sniped.
And just like that, GG gets called. QuanTa will take game number 2.
Yeah, there you go. Very nicely done by QuanTa.
Oh yeah.
I mean, yeah, he stayed like he kept his proxy hidden for a long time, and yeah, then he just went to do damage, and it was fine.
Yeah, that was really well done there by QuanTa, keeping his build hidden for a long time. And NightMare, even though I think he responded relatively well, it was a late response, it was a late probe scout, he just wasn't ready for what was coming his way. He had no idea, and just like that, we are going to the ace match.
Yes.
Oh boy, here we go. You can hear the beeps. We're going to be loading into one of the larger maps in the map pool. Larger for macro, but also larger means you can hide stuff on the map. It's going to be that much harder to find proxies.
I like the way you're thinking. Like, yeah, it's a large map. There's more space to hide things. I'm sure definitely that our Terran player would do so. But right now we are looking at the Protoss. As in the bottom right corner of Cosmic Sapphire, we have the red Protoss representing Team NV and South Korea. It is NightMare.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Cosmic Sapphire ESL, we have the South Korean Terran player himself representing Team NV. It is QuanTa.
And guess what? There's a worker on the map.
Yeah, we do have workers on the map. We do have a very fast probe scout this time here from NightMare. Going to be as annoying as possible. Going to be blocking the Rax location, but it's okay because the Rax isn't at home. It's across the map.
Yeah, and I wonder if Ooh, that was close. I wonder if NightMare see like blocking these racks, he thinks that this is actually like, you know, on time. Like, does he suspect anything, or does he think it was just like, you know, oh yeah, I blocked him, so it's a bit late?
Yeah, that's kind of the question. Meanwhile,
Nice.
Oh my god, he comes back in and he snipes the weakened SCV. Already a nice little win here for NightMare. Killing workers this early on does massively impact the economy. No!
Second one?
Oh, he's gonna get it! He's
Second
gonna
one?
get it!
Ooh, 2.
Oh
Nice.
my god, 2 SCVs already going down. QuanTa not like this, Papi. He's failing the curry test. That's what Asher likes to call it, because Stephen Curry always does this against him when he plays in STC. Oh god, but we do have the Raxes finishing up. Again, the economy of QuanTa is being impacted with this, and if you're going one base, like this hurts so much more.
Yeah, I did. I mean, there's no orbitals this early in the game, so there's no mures to help you out. And that gives NightMare time to expand, and he's actually not too worried about any attack coming, but maybe he should be.
Yeah, I mean, he scouts the Marine first. The probe is going to be taken now. We do have a couple of Reapers coming out here. Because he saw the Marine first, NightMare may be feeling relatively safe. You know, that there shouldn't be a Reaper coming across the map. He does have a Stalker on the way. It's still halfway done, and QuanTa does sneak into the main.
Yeah, there's nothing to defend quite yet, so he's gonna cause a bit of a chaos in this mineral line. Even gets a probe or 2.
Oh! Does get 2 probes here, barely backs off before getting surrounded. The Stalker comes out. Now the Reaper's gonna have to get the hell out of here. Just barely will with its life. Gonna be meeting up with the second Reaper.
Yeah. That's what NightMare doesn't know, that these will definitely be coming back in greater numbers. At the same time, QuanTa is progressing his build, actually expanding this time, not like the first game.
On location, we got a bunker on the way as well to be a little bit safe. At the same time, Reapers are going to try and dive back in because there are 2 of them. They can go toe-to-toe with this Stalker for a little bit. Oh.
Yeah, very close, but nice micro on both sides. No, he's not gonna get it. Stalkers are just not fast enough.
Just not fast enough. The Rax is going to be floating back home. The Reaper damage that was dealt was pretty necessary. It does, like, quote-unquote, even things up a little bit. But, of course, NightMare had the faster Nexus. He's going to be able to probe up a little bit more. And what's interesting is that NightMare did go for a Robo first opening.
Oh, interesting. What do you think that's going to be for?
Show us the bait! Show us the bait, puppy! Show us the bait! Oh,
no, it's an Immortal.
Goes for Immortal first. Interesting here from NightMare. I mean, with the Immortal, this is interesting because you can defend against like Marauders and you can, you know, have like a stronger like start here to the start of the game. But again, going for a Robo first like this, I imagine after this, he's going to go for a War Prism. I imagine he wants to be incredibly aggressive.
Yeah, very likely. But, you know, those Immortals also work well with the tanks on the other side, so definitely you can find some utility for them.
Meanwhile, a couple more gates are thrown down as well. We have an Observer coming out first here from NightMare, and we'll see where he ends up taking it from here. Again, I imagine it's going to be for a Prism, but he could just take us for a loop and go for a bait a little bit later on instead. Meanwhile, QuanTa back at home, still just kind of chilling, still trying to figure out what's happening. He does have 2 Reapers, but he hasn't gotten a scout of the natural base yet.
Yeah. I like how NightMare is just pumping out Observers now. And there is that bay.
Yeah. So this is a safer way to go into things like Disruptor drops or Colossus drops. Going for the Immortal first is kind of, again, it delays everything and it is inefficient, but it's safer. So you kind of give up one thing for another here for NightMare, which is why we were a little bit confused by the Immortal. But he's up against QuanTa, so it kind of makes sense.
Sure, yeah, playing against QuanTa, a lot of things make sense.
Oh boy.
And QuanTa is going for something similar than previously with a Raven, and, you know, just bio tank.
Now, I think what's important is that QuanTa did see the Immortal, so he knows about the Robo opening, he knows about the commitment into Robo Tech. Meanwhile, Robotic Spay has finished up, and it's not going to be that Disruptor drop, he just wants to go straight into Colossi.
I mean, a solid choice playing against Bio, right? And I feel like NightMare is gonna go for sort of a frontal push, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, this is just a really greedy way to play out as a Protoss player. What you do is you delay your Twilight Council, which means you delay your Blink, which means you delay any kind of map presence or any kind of early game defense, but you have a bigger power spike later on because you're getting into Colossus really quickly. And we can see that, I mean, there's no real reason to have map control. QuanTa's not going for any drops. Like, he himself is stuck on 2 bases, even though he's not really being contained.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say, like map control is nice though, but like QuanTa is not really doing much. Now there seems to be, I think it's just a Marine on the map. I don't even think there's a drop coming in the bottom left. No, it's just a scouting Marine.
He's just checking to make sure the gold hasn't been taken. NightMare, he's expanding towards the 3rd base. For the time being, like, you can be vulnerable, but you know, Colossus are coming out one after the other. We have Charge on the way as well. Interesting that he's avoiding Blink. He is a little bit more concerned with having a more robust, solid ground army instead of having a mobile one. And this is a little bit bold. He's moving out, not really knowing what he's pushing into, but I mean, QuanTa also moving out.
Ooh, they may actually meet up in the middle, and QuanTa's forces actually look fairly nice at this point.
Yeah. NightMare, he sees the rocks going down, and he's like, okay, I gotta get the hell out of here. Because 100% QuanTa can win that fight, especially with the Raven, especially with the Disable.
Yeah, the Raven, and there's quite a lot of bio as well. Ooh, the boys are coming.
The boys are being pulled, and this is going to work so well here. The boys are exactly what you want against all of these Colossi, but the Zealots are going to make things a little bit awkward. So we're going to see what we need. Are we going to see a Disable or an Anti-Armor Missile? Ideally both, but we don't have that much energy to work with. Goes to the Disable.
Looks like we're going to have a Disable on one of the Colossus, and now QuanTa is to move in.
Yeah, exactly. Only on one Colossus we do have the overcharge, putting in a lot of work here for NightMare. The charge outs are going to be going down one after the other, but it looks like the Colossi, it gets out of the Disable.
Yeah, the Colossi gets out, and the Medivacs were joining in, but they were just too late to the party, and NightMare takes the series.
GG. NightMare. I wonder if he knew that QuanTa would do something like this, because if he had Blink Stalkers instead of Charge Lots, those SCVs would have done a lot more. Charge Lots did kind of hard counter that. You know, they were their own buffer. These SCVs, they were shredded instantly.
Yeah, I do wonder, I mean, it may be just like, you know, when you play or watch QuanTa a lot, like maybe you just know that, oh yeah, like he does that kind of build a lot, or like, oh yeah, he pulls the boys a lot. So like maybe he kind of just expected that something like that may happen, like regardless of how the game went, and yeah, he just prepared for it.
Yeah, GG, well played. He didn't scout the boys being pulled. He kind of saw the army, but he didn't see what the army composition was. Like, NightMare was working off of very little information, kind of blindly preparing for some kind of ground-based push. That's exactly what came his way because, it's QuanTa.
Yeah, I do feel like it may be like a player kind of thing because, as you said, like he kind of like skipped Blink to go for charge first, but yeah, like we saw that QuanTa is not generally a player who like drops a lot. Like he rather focuses on maybe not single attack, but like more like focuses on like the progression of his build rather than like pulling the opponent like in different directions. So yeah, I guess like NightMare just read the opponent very well.
He really did. And with that, congratulations, NightMare. He will be moving on in this bracket. My condolences to QuanTa, but it's okay because if you're a fan of QuanTa, and I definitely am, he will have another chance in the lower bracket. This qualifier is double elimination.
Yes, the server qualifiers are double elimination. On that note, Korean players are known to not enjoy the double elimination as much as others, but hopefully he will stick around.
Fingers crossed, mate. Fingers crossed they stick around. I want to see more games. I want to see more matches. I want this tournament to go the distance and go all 6 hours. I
wasn't even slotted to cast today,
These double in brackets,
6 hours.
they can take a while. Let me tell you. The Oceania qualifier was 6 hours, by the way.
No.
Oh boy, but yeah. Regardless, congratulations to NightMare, and he will move on, and he already has an opponent ready and waiting.